various factors that governs biological evolution, and we came to know that there are many things that makes us, right, from a single cell to 100 million types of different species and all. So we learned about different theories, we learned about different reasons behind evolution. There are different theories by different scientists, but the main thing that is, from a single cell, now the earth contains so much variety of different animals, plants and other organisms. So the concept of adaptive radiation starts from Darwin himself when he went to Galapagos Island, that is in the west coast of South America, in a ship HMS Beagle. He observed that in a single island, there was a certain type of bird, finches. Okay, their names is finches. So finches, he observed that um, in a single island there are different species of that specific bird. So he studied those birds and studied their physiology and their ecology and everything, and came to the concept of adaptive radiation. So what is adaptive radiation? What is radiation? Radiation means from a light source, light rays goes in different ways, right? So according to Darwin, he proposed by observing that finches, and now we know them as Darwinian finches, uh, those birds, the black little birds, he proposed the theory of adaptive radiation. What is that? He proposed that there is an ancestral species of every organism. There is an ancestral species or an ancestor, and during the course of evolution, with different situation, with different geological spaces, with different needs, they become different from each other with time. With time, they become different, and so different that biologically we define them as different species. For example, if I give example, then it will be easier to understand. The first example is the Darwinian finches, and second example I will be discussing is Australian marsupials. So first, Darwinian finches. This is a very bad drawing. See, the original finches here. This is the original finches, the bird, and it has a certain type of beak pattern, right? And why that type of beak pattern? Because they used to eat seeds. Okay, in Australia, in South America, you can find various birds that used to eat only seeds. So in that island, in Galapagos Island, the original finches were seed-eating birds. So to eat seeds, they developed a certain type of beak. Okay, suppose this one. This was the original seed-eating finches. Now they used to grow there. They had their family. They used to eat. But after some time, the seeds were diminishing. So some of the birds migrated to other parts of the island. Suppose here. There, the ecological flora and fauna was quite a bit different from here. Here, it was more drought and more dry, more heat. The environment was, and there was a large growth of cactus. So the birds started eating the cactus flesh instead of eating the seeds. So, as it is apparent that the physiology of seeds and physiology of cactus is different. So, the birds, with the course of time, they developed a different type of beak to eat the cactus. And time goes, they used to mate, they used to produce new birds, and their family enlarges. And with time, what happens? Their beak became totally different from their ancestor. And now they are different species. Physiologically, now they are different species just due to their eating habits. Similarly, some of the birds migrated to this portion of the island where there are lots of insects, lots. So they started eating the insects. So insects, they have different physiology, and to eat them they have to develop different type of beak. And with time, their beak were so different from their ancestor. Physiologically, we have to characterize them as a totally different species. But these type and this type, both of their ancestor was this one. But due to difference in their eating habit, they are now totally different species. So we can see, and we can say that this is the stock species, and from here, just like radiation, like this, just like radiation, with the adaptation with the environment, different species are forming. Here, in case of Darwinian finches, the beak pattern became different due to the eating habits. The original was seed eaters. After migration into the other parts of the island, they become cactus eaters. So they develop different type of beak. On the other hand, those who migrated to this portion of the island, they used to eat lot of insects. So they had different type of beak pattern, and eventually all three became totally different from each other, and they became totally three different species of the single type of bird. So this is kind of a radiation from a source. It is radiating to different parts. So this is radiation, and this radiation is adaptive to changing environment. So this is adaptive radiation. Okay, so this is the first example.